afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Leveling Up podcast. I'm your host for the last time, Megan Fraser McGrogan, the Executive Director of the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Again, today is my last farewell show on the podcast. We have an exciting show in store for you guys. So I'll get into introducing our guest shortly, but I just want to remind everybody what the Leveling Up podcast has been all about. So we started the podcast actually 2 years ago, and the whole goal of the show is really to make sure that we are bringing business owners and people that work at our local businesses right to you, so you can get to know them and the faces behind all of our area businesses. This really was developed because I feel like it's very important for you to know the people behind a business. The more you know about them, the more loyal you will be for them, and the more you will be interested in supporting them. So I hope that this show has really served that purpose for you. We've had a lot of exciting episodes going back to when we were in studio at the Disruption Network. You can go check out all of those, which are a little bit of a deeper dive into the guests' past and their history and what they do with their businesses. And then when the pandemic started hitting the area, we really shifted the show to what you've probably been seeing lately, which is the Leveling Up social distancing series. And those are shorter episodes, really designed to tell you how you love our area businesses during the pandemic. And we have lots and lots of those episodes. Again, they're quicker, shorter episodes. Maybe when you're going for a walk or taking the dog out or doing your dishes or cooking dinner, you might want to just throw those on and get to know all of our area businesses. A great way to do that and stay in the know. And they're always relevant, even if they're talking about things that are in the past. Still a great way to get to know all these businesses. And I know Kari Pulio, the new executive director, is going to do a great job at carrying that tradition on. So I'd like to start off the show by welcoming my guest today. Again, Kari Pulio, the new executive director, incoming executive director of the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce. So Kari, probably the most proud I've been to introduce a guest other than Ryan, I suppose. So thank you so much for being here today at our office, I should add, right in front of our beautiful red Greater Utica Chamber wall.
Thank you so much, Megan. I'm really thrilled to be here today and to carry on this tradition. Listening to the podcast has been something I've enjoyed. I've gotten to know different things about different business owners and people who I've considered friends. And so it's really great to be able to be on the other side of this, starting soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're so excited for you to start the role. And actually, Kari has been a guest on the podcast when she was at her previous position at Notre Dame. So you can go check that out too, to get to know Kari. But today we're going to get to know all about Kari as she transitions into this new role, officially taking the reins on Monday. Tomorrow will be my last day at the chamber. So Kari, let's get into introducing you, your background. Hopefully folks have seen the press release that we sent out introducing you, but in case they haven't, tell them all about yourself. So who is Kari and how can they get to know more about you?
Absolutely. So I have lived here probably for about 16 years now. I moved back to the area. I'm not originally from here, but both of my parents grew up in the Utica area. So Utica's always felt a little bit like home to me. I spent weekends here with aunts, uncles, cousins, my grandparents. I always looked forward to coming to visit. So it kind of felt like home, even when I was moving here as a transplant from Washington, D.C. I love all of the traditions Utica has, the food, the Boilermaker, all the major events. We have great locally owned businesses. My grandfather was an entrepreneur. He was an electrician. My grandmother worked for big companies like General Electric. So, I've always had business roots tied family-wise to the Utica area. So it's really great to be in this new role. I've always worked in nonprofits. I've enjoyed that kind of work. I've always enjoyed having a job that has a meaning behind it, connecting people, doing mission-oriented work. So this is kind of a natural segue and job for me. I'm really excited to be advocating for the business community here in Utica. I think having a strong Chamber of Commerce contributes to the health, viability, and sustainability of our community. So I'm really excited to dig deep into this work. I have a son here. He attends Notre Dame. And that's where I have been for the past 7 years, doing development, marketing, communications work. So really taking those skills and transferring them to this new role is exciting and challenging for me. And I'm really looking forward to getting to know all of the business owners on a different level. Many people I've worked with in a different capacity. And so I'm looking forward to getting to know their businesses better and advocating for, as this has been a very transitional year for everybody, taking the steps to really make Utica the great gem we know it is.
Yeah, right. It's this such a special and important part of our community. Obviously, Utica proper, and then the surrounding areas, which our membership spans quite an area, and just a special time. I think as people, come out of, like you said, this kind of transition, interesting year that we've had, but really has taught us as individuals and as businesses, what we are capable of getting through. And I think it'll be really, really exciting to see things open back up. We have a ton, and that momentum has not stopped. We have a ton of positive momentum around the city, around the community, really around the whole region. So I know you'll do a great job making sure that that momentum with the chamber stays going, and just making sure that our businesses get back on their feet, which has been a big, big focus for the chamber this past year.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful to see the creativity that business owners have had to take in order to, there's new businesses starting up. There's things that we never thought we would be doing, buying masks as a fashion accessory, is doing things over things like, utilizing virtual platforms in new ways. So really the creativity that business owners have had has been tremendous. But I think people are going to be looking forward to doing more things in person when we can do so safely. And so I'm looking forward to executing those events for networking and, getting these new business owners connected to our already existing community.
Absolutely. So, Carrie, let's talk about kind of your background a bit. I know you mentioned you were at Notre Dame, and you mentioned what you did there. You also have been involved with the chamber in the past as a member of our Catalyst Young Professionals Steering Committee. You did some events for us in that role. So, talk a little bit about kind of your background and what you've done in the community, the chamber, and some other things that you've done, because I know people will be able to identify with some of them.
Yeah, I loved being a part of the Chamber Catalyst Steering Committee. We started Jingle Jam. I think it was 6 or 7 years ago now, and that was really exciting. It was really a way for me to connect with peers, like-minded peers, is the reason why I joined Catalyst. And some of those people that I have met have become my dearest friends. And I support their businesses and have learned more about what they do through networking through those kind of events. So it was that kind of personal experience that showed me the power of the chamber that really interested me in this position. In addition to that, I joined the Boilermaker Entertainment Committee, which came out of Catalyst, working with another co-chair on that and working in that kind of realm, which has been, thrilling to be a part of something that's so monumental to Utica. I work at Notre Dame, and so I also serve on the Dollars for Scholars Scholarship Committee, which is, handing out scholarship money to deserving youth and, really reading the stories about what kids in our area do. It's not just business owners. We have upcoming young students who are engaged in the Utica area, and we want them to come back someday to Utica. So we want them to go off and get a well-rounded education and come back here and start businesses. And so that's just kind of another thing that I've been tied to that really, keeps Utica vibrant and thriving. So all of those kind of different passions of mine. Of course, as a mom, I've been on PTA boards and sports organizations and booster clubs. So really involved with a wide variety of different community events that have really expanded my network.
Yeah, and I know that makes you a perfect fit for this role, being involved in all of these things and having that experience, with so many organizations. So, Carrie, what are you excited for in this role? We've been spending the whole week together, doing training and kind of the nitty gritty stuff, but we haven't really had a ton of time to focus about the exciting and upcoming things for the chamber. So, what are you most excited for? What can our members expect from you? Just kind of give everybody, I guess, your hopes and dreams for the the future here at the chamber.
Yeah. So really getting off the ground, just getting to know, our board on a different level, their businesses, the first, couple months, but then reopening the chamber offices. We have events scheduled virtually and in person already for 2021. First up would be our Better Your Business series, which is a 4-part educational series on mostly financial and banking needs for small business owners. And you can register for that on our website, greateruticachamber.org. And then we are, next week rolling up our sleeves and getting ready for our very popular Choo Choo golf tournament. So that will be coming on August 20th. And I'm very excited for that event. I've actually never been able to partake in that event because it always fell on my family's reunion. So it was always something I heard wonderful things about, but I haven't been there myself. So I'm really looking forward to that. And the planning for that will be underway shortly. So that's exciting. Another exciting event for the chamber to look forward to in the community. In addition to that is just how we're going to reopen, what we can do differently, how we can serve our members. I'm really looking forward to finding out what the needs in the business community are and making sure that we're serving our members in the appropriate ways. And so getting to dive into all of that is very exciting for me as well.
Yeah, definitely. I know, the events that you talked about are really, I think, important as, we look forward to how can we be opening up and, that banking series that you were mentioning too. If there's any folks that are tuning in today who, maybe you're thinking about starting a business, for instance, some of those parts of the banking series would be great to tune into that because we're really going to talk about all the financial aspects, how you get loans, even successions, planning for all things like that. So that would be a great way for people to get involved immediately under your leadership. And that'll be coming up the middle of March, right?
March 11th is our first one. It'll be the next 3 Thursdays after that.
Yeah. So if people want to get engaged immediately, they can do that. Kari, I guess anything else that you want to talk about before I kind of get into saying a couple thank yous and my farewell message to all of our members at the chamber and our staff and our board and everybody, I guess. Try not to cry while I do that.
Yeah, so it would be remiss of me not to say, what a wonderful leader you have been, from somebody who's worked with you on the Catalyst Steering Committee and through other organizations. I know the board has been beyond thrilled with all the work you have done. You have laid a wonderful foundation here. So I am a little nervous to follow you. So
you'll do great. I have very much confidence in you as the next executive director. And again, to all of our members and community members who are watching this, please, reach out to Kari and congratulate her. I know, Kari, you're going to do a fantastic job. I saw you thrive in Catalyst with the Boilermaker and your role at Notre Dame. So I know you're going to do a great job as our incoming executive director. So hopefully everybody can meet you in person at some point this year if they haven't met you yet. But I know you're planning to continue the podcast and do a lot of things virtually until the in-person element comes. So thank you for taking on this role. I'm very excited for you and for the future of the chamber. So I guess I'll get into, if you don't have anything else to add, I'll get into some things that I wanted to kind of say as a little farewell message to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Take it away, Meg.
All right. So I just, again, I'm going to go through a couple things. So because I was having a really hard time with, I guess, saying goodbye, I keep teasing the board and the staff that I'm like the cat with 9 lives. You can't get rid of me yet. So tomorrow will be my last day at the chamber, and it's been a wild ride here in this role. So I guess I joined back in 2014 after a great career at the brewery. Those who know me know I'm a big supporter of the brewery, and my career there was a lot of fun. I joked with Kari before we got on that we really should have been drinking Utica Club during this, I think. It's a little celebratory thing, but I guess we'll have to do that maybe later in our personal Zoom call. We'll do that.
Absolutely, as the world opens up here.
Yeah, right. So, but anyway, so when I joined the chamber back in 2014, I was the director of membership and events, and then, as everybody knows, later became the executive director. So, been here for a little bit, and I figured the best way to maybe do my little send off here is to talk about my top 10 favorite moments at the chamber. So. I'm just going to run down them here and tell you guys a little bit about things as I go through. So I guess probably my number one would be the day I became the executive director. It was actually right before Choo Choo. So Kari mentioned Choo Choo, and that was obviously a very proud day of mine. I guess number two is every Choo Choo golf tournament, which is a lot of fun, and Kari will experience, like she said, for the first time this year. But really, that's one of my favorite events every year for a multitude of reasons. But one of the reasons I think is fantastic is it just showcases the beauty in our area. I'm getting the chills thinking about it, just like getting on the train and going through the Adirondacks and ending up at this beautiful golf course. And really watching everybody let their hair down, I guess, and I don't mean that in like the drinking sense, but in, just the sense that we're all so busy all the time. And that's just to me the one chamber event of the year where I think everybody just kind of lets their guard down and has a lot of fun. And it's just great to see all the hard work of the committee and everybody involved. That event, as Kari mentioned, we really start planning now. So it's kind of the chamber's boilermaker, I guess you could say, where we really go through a lot of planning and a lot of hard work for that. So that's my number two. Let's see. Number three, I'm going to say is probably the office grand opening. I did not put these in order until now, so I'm going to go through my list and pick an order. The grand opening of our offices, our beautiful office that Kari's sitting in right now. So we moved over into the Landmark building, which is just a beautiful, beautiful building owned by the Pezzanellas. We moved into that space, I believe it was in 2016. Yeah, so it was 2016. So we moved into that space and really just a great central location that Kari's sitting in. You can kind of see, like I said, that wall behind her. You can see right when you walk in the Landmark building. Very central location. It's a great facility for our members. Yes, thanks, Kari. Vanna White. And to Kari's, let's see, it'd be Kari's right. There's a great education room there where we've welcomed so many different groups and members and community members. Even the lieutenant governor, we've had a lot of people come in and utilize that beautiful space there at the Landmark building. So the grand opening, which I believe it was kind of the biggest joke for a while, because I think we had to delay it twice due to a snowstorm, and then it finally happened. So that was a really fun night to officially open the office and welcome everybody in. It's so much fun designing that space and getting it ready. So we hope that it'll be a great space for our members for years to come in the Landmark building. So let's see, what was I on? That was three. So number four, I'm going to say literally anything Catalyst does. I couldn't just pick one. Jingle Jam for sure is something that I'm always proud of Catalyst for. But really everything that they do is just, it's so inspiring to see our young professionals come up through the community. And now, Kari, let's see, you will make, I believe, the sixth or seventh person that has come up through the Catalyst Steering Committee into a leadership role with the chamber. So kudos on that. And we're very proud of the young professionals involved in Catalyst. We've had, let's see, me as executive director, I'm just going to go through everybody. Why the heck not, right? You can't cut me off yet. So let's see. I became the executive director, obviously. Kyle Strife became a member of our board. Pam Dalmedico, now Musty, became a member of our board. Jennifer Osiecki, our current chair of the board, was also a chair of Catalyst. Kari, of course, and I'm missing somebody. Who am I missing? Stephen Turnbull. It just became our newest board member as well. So lots of people, and I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. If I am, I apologize. But lots of people have moved up in leadership roles from Catalyst. So I'm very, very proud of that group. They're still going strong throughout the pandemic. They had one of their most successful Jingle Jams ever virtually. this past December. And of course, they donate the proceeds of those to a local organization. This year it was the House of the Good Shepherd. So to everybody on Catalyst, so proud of all of you guys. So that's definitely one of my top tens. I'm going to go back to Business of the Year last year, which Todd, I know you're controlling things behind the scene here, but we did our Business of the Year at Hartshill Inn, and the award show was done as a live podcast. So we had a live studio audience, and that was so much fun. Definitely one of the highlights for me. And then I'll piggyback onto that this year's Business of the Year, which we, of course, had to change the setting for that and do that all broadcasted on TV. So hopefully everybody had a chance to check out that special. If you haven't, it's on our website. But really, the Business of the Year events are just a really, really special time for us. We highlight 15 finalists, select 5 winners, and I know Kari will share the same pride when you get to host one of these this year. You know, just the celebratory feeling of it. It's always in December. It's around the holidays. It's just a really, really positive event for our community that celebrates our business's accomplishments. So definitely one of my top 10. Kind of unrelated to the chamber, but kind of related, I would say last year's Bank of Utica New Year's Eve celebration. Something I'm very proud to have been a part of, not necessarily as the executive director for the chamber, but nonetheless, Bank of Utica is a great chamber member, has always been very supportive of the chamber. So to Tom, Barry, Brian, thank you so much for including me in that. But that was such a real bummer, I guess, this year, the energy that was around New Year's Eve in 2019 leading into 2020. It just felt like we were on such a high, and then all this stuff happened. And of course, this year's New Year's Eve was, mostly spent in our living rooms. But what a fantastic event that the bank put on to celebrate the whole community. I mean, really, that event covered, all aspects of our community. We had great entertainment, a lot of diverse entertainment. And of course, we had not the ball drop. We make that very clear. We did not drop a ball off of Bank of Utica, nor will there be. But we had a great countdown and fireworks and just a really fantastic evening, which I know, Kari, you also attended New Year's Eve and had a lot of fun at that. And I'm sure you share the same sentiment. Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So hopefully, sorry, go ahead.
We had too much fun that evening, Meg.
Yes, I think so. We had a lot of fun taking pictures in the ice chair, which there was an ice chair. We
Yes.
had ice sculptures. They even had things for kids earlier in the evening. I mean, hopefully we'll be able to see that come back this year. But again, a lot of fun. I co-hosted that with Barry Sinnott, of course, from the bank, and we just had a fantastic time doing that. So definitely one of my top tens. The other thing, again, kind of not exactly associated with the chamber, but kind of, was my husband, Ryan McGrogan's ribbon cutting that we actually hosted at the chamber. At the time, we did not have a business location, but that was certainly one of my most proud moments because I really got to do my role as executive director, but also got to celebrate that with my husband and his business. So, Ryan, that was really one of my most proud moments, being able to hand you the scissors to cut the ribbon. And I've done that for so many people, and really just ribbon cuttings in general too. Such a proud thing. Again, and Kari, I know you'll get to experience in person sometime soon, hopefully. But you will see what I mean when you get to introduce the businesses and really celebrate. My favorite is the expansions, and I feel like a broken record because if you've been to an expansion ribbon cutting, you've heard me say this, but it's awesome when we do one, and then a year later the phone rings and the member's like, hey, I'm bigger now, or I've got a new location, or I've renovated my office, or I've added a product, and those are really fun. So
yeah, you were
are,
there when we did the expansion to the Monsignor Willenberg Center. We had that expansion there, and that was a wonderful ribbon cutting.
Yes, which is beautiful, by the way, if nobody's checked that out. I mean, God, what a beautiful addition you guys have had over at Notre Dame. Like, you could see it when you drive by, but hopefully after COVID, people have an opportunity to go in and see it. It's beautiful. And then I guess we'll kind of go to awards type things on the accreditation, which Kari has learned about this week too. So we were accredited by the United States Chamber of Commerce for the second time, this time with 3 stars. So I was very proud that we were reaccredited and also with 3 stars. which you can get 3 out of 5. No stars is like you're just accredited, and then you kind of build on your stars from there. So I know the board and myself are very, very proud of that. We are only one of, I believe, 5 chambers in New York State, maybe one of 3. Don't quote me on that, but it's definitely 5 or 3. So we'll leave it at that. But we're definitely one of the few chambers in New York State that are accredited by the U.S. Chamber. And that's just a really, really awesome thing because it really goes through every facet of the organization, everything down from the facilities to how we serve our members, to how we serve our community, to how we operate. So we're really very, very proud of the accreditation. And again, you can check all that out on our website too. All this is listed there. And then the other award that I'm very, very proud of is our most recent award, which is given to us by Mohawk Valley Edge, so the Leading Edge Award. So thank you again to Edge for that beautiful award to highlight all the things we did throughout last year to support the business community, like feed our frontline families, take out the virus. So we're really, really proud of that award, and I know the board's very proud of that too. And I think that is all 10. I've gotten through all of them. I did actually know I have the last one is the best one in my opinion. So I'm particularly proud, and I pass this torch to Kari, that we have had a lot of women in leadership at the chamber as of recently, and young women, I should say. Something that I guess I'm proud because a lot of times we would, maybe get feedback that, chambers are stale or it's the good old boys club or things like that. And it is just the farthest thing from it. And I'm very proud that we have gotten to be, in that position. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean, it's very exciting to see young women, myself and now Kari, as the executive directors of such a historic organization that has been around. Oh my God, when were we founded? 1856, I think. And we're one of the founding chambers we're in the cornerstone building of the United States Chamber of Commerce. We are one of the cornerstones in that building, our chamber. So we really are a very long-standing organization in the Utica area, but also in the country. So I'm very particularly proud that, we have really evolved and particularly in the past several years, have really made a lot of strides in that area. Last year, we had 50% of our executive committee were women. A lot of people don't know that. We had a female executive director, a female chair, a female first vice chair, and treasurer. So I would be remiss if I didn't point that out before I left the chamber, because we had every intention of doing a piece on that last year. And of course, with everything going on, we just didn't get to it. So Jennifer Osiecki is our incoming chair. She just started this January. As I already mentioned, she also was a chair of our Catalyst Steering Committee. And of course, Daria Helmer was our chair for the past 2 years. And Amanda Potter was also, from A&P Master Images, the treasurer of our board. So ladies, I'm proud that we were able to serve in leadership together. So that will wrap up my top 10 proud moments list. And hopefully you guys learned some things, right, that the chamber has done recently. Whew, I feel like I'm sweating here, Kari.
Let's quite the list. I'm very excited to continue to work with you because you are leaving us not as the executive director, but you're joining as a member. You have 2 businesses now with Common Worker and McGrogan Design, so we will still be working very closely together. I'll see you at events and virtually, and so I'm very excited for you and your husband as your businesses are taking off. And so this is just a next step of us partnering together in a different way.
Yeah, definitely. We're very excited, Ryan and myself, to remain active members of the community. So if you guys have been following along, that's where I'm leaving to go. So I'll be joining Ryan to expand our services at McGrogan Design. Of course, he's a graphic designer. We'll be expanding our services into marketing. And actually, I'll still be working with the chamber a little bit, consulting on a tool that we're working on to promote the region, a regional recruitment tool to recruit, attract, and retain talent to the region. So very excited to be working on that. And as Kari said, with Common Worker, we have shared office spaces for small businesses. I guess I have to plug, we do have one office open. So if you're looking for an office, check out Common Worker. And, really, again, I just love being a part of the community. So hope to stay engaged however possible. And of course, support Kari in the chamber as she transitions into this role. So I guess I'll wrap up by saying a couple thank yous, if that's okay, Kari. Um,
Absolutely.
I want to, I know I've already talked about Catalyst, but again, wanted to thank the Catalyst Steering Committee for your support. A great group of young professionals. Again, I'm so proud of you guys. I'm going to try not to cry here, but you make me very proud. The board of directors, thank you so much for, oh my God, okay, God, can't cry, Megan. But the board of directors for your support. Those people who know me very closely know that a lot of life events, I guess, happened in this time that I've been at the chamber. I got married, I had a child in a really interesting scenario. Those of you who know our story, Peter was born prematurely, and I had a very rough first part of his life, and the board was so supportive. So thank you very much for your support throughout those life events, and really just supporting me in this role. I feel so, so blessed. You guys are amazing, really. I just want to call out the two people who were chair the most time that I was executive director, Pat Bescher and Daria Helmer. You guys were great partners, great support for me. So thank you so much to you guys. And of course, Ellis, Dalia, who really kind of, I guess I've been longtime family friends with Ellis, but really got me involved in the chamber and pushed me when I was a board member to get involved with Catalyst. And then, of course, as I got into this role, Ellis has always been great support and a very good cheerleader. So thank you, Ellis. No longer with us, Joanne, who is my assistant for many years. Let's see, Joanne and I started off with employees, and then it was only the two of us, and then we grew again. And Joanne was so loyal to me and very, very supportive. And again, really rolled up her sleeves, and we did it together, Joanne. So thank you so much for your support. And Angela, who is still with Kari, and I know will do a great job under Kari's leadership. Angela has been in the team. The two of us have seen through a lot this year. And Angela is also a coworker of mine at the brewery, so we've known each other many, many years. So Angela, thank you for your support and just being a great, great employee for me, and really we're a team. So thank you so, so much for everything that you have done for myself personally and for the chamber to keep things going and make sure I didn't lose my mind. More importantly, Joanne and Angela, I think were my therapists sometimes, more so than my employees. So thank you so, so much to both of you guys. And of course to Ryan and Peter for your support in this role. It's not easy in this role to be a husband and probably a son too, even though I didn't realize it, because there's a lot of things that we do and events and things like that. So Ryan, thank you so much for your support and being a good cheerleader and a good support system. And I'm sorry that you can no longer tell Angela she can take the day off. That's our big running joke, Kari. So you'll have to take that over. Every time we be on the phone, right? What?
Angela's giggling from the back.
Well, actually, you have a Ryan too, so maybe your son Ryan can tell Angela to take the rest of the day off.
There you go.
And of course, thank you, as I said earlier, for coming in and taking this role on. I know you're going to do a great job. And I guess one last one is thank you, most importantly, to our members for supporting our organization. And supporting, myself and our staff and our board and really the whole organization, as Kari said so beautifully in the beginning. Having a strong chamber is so important to our community. I believe in it. I believed in it before I was involved. I will continue to believe in it afterwards. As Kari mentioned, we plan to be great members of the chamber and contribute to the business community. So you will hear from me probably on the flip side, because I will be encouraging all of you to continue supporting the chamber, continue making sure that we have a strong business community. We're all in this together. We need to get through this together, but more importantly, we need to grow together, right? Grow our area together. And I know we have a bright future doing that underneath Kari's leadership. So I'll stop crying and stop babbling, which, again, people who have been around and know me know that I love to do. I love to chat. So we could chat all day. Kari, anything else you wanted to talk about before we close things out and I pass the baton, the torch, the Utica Club, whatever you want to say?
All of the above. Yeah,
All of the above.
I'm just really thrilled to take over after you and to really grow this organization. You know, we've got a lot coming to downtown Utica. I'm very excited to be downtown with the hospital moving downtown. We're soon going to have the Nexus Center when that gets up and running again. And so all of the businesses that come with that and being, you know, it's just really an exciting time to be downtown. So I'm really looking forward to all of that growth and being a part of that. That growth in the Utica community. So thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm really looking forward to making these connections with our members.
Great. Well, thanks, Kari, and congratulations. And again, thanks to all of you. And make sure you check out Kari's first episode, which I'm sure she'll let you guys know when that's going to be soon. If you're not on our mailing list, head on over to greateruticachamber.org. You can scroll down to the bottom, join the mailing list, and you can be in the know for everything that the chamber is up to. And of course, follow on Facebook, Instagram, and all that good stuff. So for the last time, this is your Executive Director, Meghan Fraser McGrogan, signing off. And we'll see you in Utica and the surrounding areas soon in person with the Utica Club or a Utica coffee or something celebratory, right, to celebrate the end of all this. Which,
cheers. We should have had.
Yes, I know. It will. We will see you next time, everyone. So have a nice day.
Thank you.